A night at the Met. We take you on the red carpet for the most famous party in New York. Plus, historic nominations at the Tony Awards. We'll share which nominees are being recognized as trailblazers on Broadway. And dipping into nostalgia, I talk with the all-queer band Camp Bedford about speaking their truth through music. Welcome to Equal Entertainment. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is out with the 2023 class of inductees, and it's a star-studded list. Missy Elliott, Willie Nelson, Tina Turner, George Michael, Sheryl Crow, Kate Bush, Rage Against the Machine, and the Spinners will all be enshrined in the hall. Missy Elliott is the first female rapper to be inducted. The 38th annual induction ceremony will be held later this year at the Barclays Center in New York. Kandi Burruss can do it all now. She can add Emmy-nominated and Tony-nominated to her resume. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star was nominated for producing the show La Musica de la Familia. It's been an exciting stretch for Perez. She was also nominated for her first Tony Award within 24 hours of the Emmy news. Perez and her husband Todd Tucker's production of The Piano Lesson is up for a Tony this year for Best Revival of a Play. History is being made with this year's Tony noms. Two performers have become the first non-binary or gender non-conforming nominees. J. Harrison Ghee and Alex Newell will be in the running for awards. Ghee is nominated for Best Leading Actor in a Musical for Some Like It Hot, while Newell is nominated for Best Supporting Actor in a Musical for Shocked. The Tony Awards will take place June 11th. On the first Monday in May, things get weird and elegant in New York City for the annual Met Gala. This year's theme was based on the Costume Institute's spring show, Karl Lagerfeld, A Line of Beauty. It's a look back at the late German fashion designer's work. There was a lot of black, white, blush, and pearls. Among the best designs on the red carpet this year, Star Wars actor Pedro Pascal, Cardi B, and Bad Bunny. Doja Cat, Jared Leto, and Lil Nas X all came in full cat costumes, while Rihanna wore a Valentino gown with a hooded coat bursting with a floral motif. Brooklyn-based trio Camp Bedford is releasing their new EP called So Often and So Sweet. They are an all-femme and queer group with a heart for folk pop. The EP is witchy and nostalgic with a bit of angst in between. The three songs on the project are called 2 a.m., Tonight, and Jupiter. Each song carries its own messages of letting go, self-discovery, and adventure. If you're a fan of Joseph, First Aid Kit, or Wyoke, this group is for you. I had the pleasure of speaking to Camp Bedford's Roxanne Quilty, Mariela Flor Olivo, and Talon Gabriel about using their music for self-expression and finding community. Hi, welcome Camp Bedford, Roxanne Quilty, Talon Gabriel, and Mariela Flor Olivo. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having us. We're so excited.
Absolutely. Well, I just want folks to get a little background into Camp Bedford. And so I wonder who would like to be the person who shares how y'all came to be a trio.
I could talk about that a little bit.
Great. Wonderful.
So Rox and I met about 5 years ago in a different project. We were introduced through other musical compatriots, and then that project kind of dissolved during the pandemic as people moved and things happened. And then a few years ago, we also started going to this queer open mic in Astoria, Queens, and Maddie was also a regular at that open mic, and we kept seeing her and became like slowly friends with her. And then she invited us to a birthday solo show that she was playing right when someone else that we were playing with, who was playing some guitar, and some backing vocals for us, was talking about exiting the project, moving on, and then we saw Maddie play, and we were like, what are the chances we could play with her? That would be such a dream. Nice. I brought that up to her, and she was so thrilled to do it, and then it just felt like so copacetic and fated, all coming together, which was really nice.
Incredible. Well, thank you for that. And Maddie, would you talk a little bit about your new EP and what people can expect from that? I listened to it. It's terrific. So yeah, would you talk about that a little bit, please?
Sure. It's such a treat. These songs, I feel like one universal thing that everyone has experienced or can talk about or find some sort of connection with is love in its various themes. And so be it that it's self-love or a relationship, that's specific to an individual person. Love is something that unifies all of us. And so this EP sort of delves into different cycles. Jupiter is a very coming of age, sort of, I guess, working backwards through the EP. Jupiter is a very rite of passage coming tune. And 2 a.m. to jump forward to 2 a.m. Is that feeling where you're watching someone that you've loved and dated and cared for essentially be ship in time with you. And I think that's something that's just so universal, watching an ex or watching a person be like a quote unquote better person for someone else. And you're just sitting there like, oh, I helped you get there, darn it, And Tonight sort of covers not so much an unrequited love necessarily, but love in its youth. We can all remember, hopefully, one of our first loves in our life that we've found and experienced. And so Tonight sort of focuses on that the youthfulness and lightness that honestly we can lose as we get older. We're all in our late 20s and going on 30s in this band. And so songs like that are just so fun to really connect to at this point in stages of our life, because we've experienced so much love and loss in all of these different capacities. And so I think the album does a beautiful job of touching each point and moment and each stage and phase of love, and makes it this universal thing that anyone can listen to and feel something. And I think that's one of the strongest points of our music. I'm like, if I may go on,
Sure.
I think musically we all as artists are like, what do we have to offer? What are we bringing to the table? There's so much that exists out there. Why are we special? Why do we matter? And I think EP is such a delicate yet profound entry into that world, and saying, hey, I know we all talk about love and anyone can talk about love, but here's a very specific and unique yet universal way to present it. And we hope you walk away from this album or this listen having felt something. And if you felt something, then we've done our job. Then that is enough.
Rox, I wonder, Mari just touched on the universality of love. However, you're all, this is queer as well, which is so incredibly important that people who feel that can connect to it. And would you talk a bit about being an openly queer band or group, and what it's like to have people come up to you after shows and thank you for that, for helping them feel seen? And then after that, I would love if you would each share maybe the first time you felt seen through a musician.
Yeah. Oh, my heart. I mean, I think being queer people is sort of at the foundation of just everything we do as we move about the world, right? And it's certainly a foundational element of the three of us as we work together. I think you learn as queer people that love is so important, not just in the romantic sense, but through friendships. I think one of the gifts of being queer is that we are modeled within our community to value our friends just as much and just as deeply as we value our romantic partners. And so we feel so connected to one another and so really in love with each other, even though we're not romantically involved. Talent
at the moment.
Talent is like, now you never know. But, we like to keep them guessing. No, but
yeah, truly.
But it's so foundational to who we are and who we are as a band and as a group, and the deep love that we have for each other that comes with queer friendships.
Thank you so much to Mariella, Roxanne, and Talon for stopping by. Their stories are very powerful, and their work provides visibility to so many others. Camp Bedford's EP, So Often and So Sweet, is streaming now. And you can visit us on the Advocate Channel YouTube page for more. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and that's what's happening in entertainment.